All right, everybody. Scott Pearson Yegong here from Listings to Leads, and got a good podcast show, call, live, whatever. How you doing?
I'm doing fantastic. Thank you.
Awesome.
Excited.
Well, I'm going to start off in a very bitter mood. Unfortunately, I just got this email from a client, and I just started running a buyer video ad yesterday. All right, not doing well. His previous ad, how to sell a home in a changing market, to a bunch of custom audiences that I had, did nothing either. And the market's really bad. Well, depends on what you're doing. And not getting any calls from his condo, which condos can be a little hard. I'm thinking yard sign, right? You don't have a yard sign with a sign writer and different things like that. That's, it's not hard. It's not the easiest to market to a farm of condos. Although one of our clients, I've had a few clients actually that do really well in a building, right? Go door knocking or mail out the nearby homeowner letter to the condos. In fact, Corey Smallman, he's not in condos, but he is, in fact, they are. He's got this big condo building development that he just absolutely crushes it with the nearby homeowner letter.
Right.
So anyways, here's why I'm a little bit bitter at the moment, because I literally had a call, and if the person that sent this to me is on this call right now, let me know. I literally had a call with him, went through the entire Gordon Day interview, the Craig Johnson, right? The stuff that we teach about making sure that you start with listing ads, right? Run ads for listings, do open houses if you're in that business part of your career, right? We're really trying to build up that business. And then he goes off and does a video ad, which I always say, if you're looking to do lead generation, don't do video ads. I think video ads are awesome for a little bit higher funnel type of stuff, or should I say lower funnel type stuff, where you're talking to people more. But when you're just trying to generate leads, no. I've never said to anybody, do a buyer video ad, and I've never told anybody to do how to sell your home in a changing market to a bunch of custom audiences.
Right.
And I know I didn't say that to him either. So let's get off this bad attitude that I've got at the moment. And because you all are doing open houses ostensibly. So if you're on this call and you get an open house scheduled on a listing that's yours or borrowed, and if you don't have an open house and you're on this call, hopefully we get you excited enough to actually start doing open houses in a way that generates buyers and sellers. All right.
Yeah.
A lot of you have seen this. A lot of you haven't. You see? Can you read this?
This is from Gordon Day. I was ready to retire. Now I'm closing multiple deals a month thanks to LTL. Facebook ads and open houses with LTL. It's the best decision I've made in years.
Yeah, it's literally that easy. And what I don't want people to do is waste a bunch of time doing stuff that, they gotta, I'm sure he thought it through. He probably spent a lot of time thinking the video ad and, which PDF should I do? And this and that. It's like, that's for later, right? When you're trying to build a pipeline, when you're trying to get to 4+ deals a month, like one a week, this is just what you should be doing and scaling this. And within 2 to 3 months, your pipeline is going to be so full, and you'll probably start having listings by then. You'll probably have buyers, if not closing out, looking at properties and getting ready to close. So, you don't need to spend a ton of time trying to reinvent something. You just really don't. So if you're on this call and you're doing an open house with us, then congratulations, because you are 80% of the way there. And I want to show this slide. In our training today, we're going to be talking about not just having a killer open house and marketing it and getting buyer leads and seller leads, but part of that's going to be our conversation around making the open house part seller showcase, where all those homeowners that we're going to invite come through, they are going to look at us and just be like, damn, right? That person's the person I'd want to list my home for sale.
Mhm.
And I got two things right here that are a little bit random. They're not part of our mastery or our marketing per se. So I'm going to mention them real quickly. We'll come back to them later. You may have heard me mention them. I'm sure they're in the mastermind group. But the first thing is to print the 100-point home marketing plan, either the one at your account level, or you can add a dummy listing, or if you got a previous one from another listing, take it with you, right? You don't have to overthink this. Just get one of these, however you got it in your account, print it up, bring it to the open house. We want to leave that laying around so that when anytime a homeowner comes through, we can just mention it or, ask if they'd like to take a look at it. When you tell a homeowner that you got a 100 plus point home marketing plan to get local or Folsom home sold, that's going to capture their attention. So that's one. And the other thing is that video. So you've got the 5-minute video, the 100-point home marketing plan. So it's a video now in your listings to leads account in your media library. If you go to the mastermind group, I've got a video in there, right, and our YouTube channel as well, where I walk through how to download it from listings to leads and upload it to your YouTube channel. Play it on a laptop. You see here, one of our clients gave us this great idea of the have it on the TV.
Mhm.
Right. Open up YouTube on the TV if the seller will let you, and then let that play. I would turn the volume all the way down, but man, that video is hot. In fact, I think if I click this, all right, here, let me give you this video because this video here, that is the training video on how to do this. So go ahead and take that link, put it somewhere else for a little bit, and come back to it later. But let's get into it. So get yourself to listingstoleads.com. If you're not a client, sign up for a free trial. Everything you can do in a free trial, everything we're going to do here, you can do in a free trial. If you are a client, if you're logged into your account, that'd be awesome. No reason to just watch me do stuff.
How many open houses did we go to this yesterday? 3?
I went to 3. Yeah.
Yeah, 1, 2, 3. Okay, so one of them, they definitely had a nice showing because I saw that piece of paper. There's, maybe 15 names on
Yeah.
that. So imagine if you have a 100 plus marketing plan playing over there because they have a massive entertainment room, right,
Oh
with
my
a
God, that
bigger
TV
screen.
was just mad.
Oh,
That TV
yeah.
was so
And I was
big.
like,
That would have been
there was
cool.
nothing there. It was just, yeah, it
It
was
was
just,
it was looping the Android
I
thing.
don't know
Whatever,
what
it was just looping the TV logo back and forth across it, and it was kind of annoying actually.
yeah, I
I
was
would have
laughing,
rather seen.
I
It's
was
funny that
laughing.
you mentioned it because yeah, I'm still visualizing it. The thing just kept kind of like morphing over here, disappear, morph over here, and disappear. It's like, oh my god,
Yeah,
like.
there were, like, so many missed opportunities. Yeah, it's
And
just
then he had the sign in form on a notebook where everyone is just going across.
everyone was writing and you can see the people, all the everything in front of you. It's
Yeah,
really
that's
I don't know.
I would look at someone like that and just be like, dude, and you want to like manage escrow, you want to manage deposits, and you just like leave people's contact information laying out for like any weirdo to come through.
Yeah, I
Uh,
could have taken a picture and he wouldn't even know. It's
oh
crazy.
yeah, right. Oh yeah, you should have done that. Get some free leads. Start
Yeah,
crazy. You go to an open house, you do that, you upload it into Chat GPT, get a plain text, get a CSV file, send it to Follow Up Boss. Right? You have those people in an open house campaign in 60 seconds. That's for all those of you that want to go a little bit. Yeah, not in the best way. Obviously, we're just kidding on that. But yeah, we went to 3 listings, all high end, $1 million plus. None
there
of
was
them.
nothing impressive about any of these open
Yeah.
houses that were conducted. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah. Because we all know the idea of selling that actual open house is not likely to happen, although it does happen. And we got clients that get offers on the listing from the open house.
Okay,
Happens
so
all the
give me
time.
an example. Because we were talking about whether it's your listing or borrowed listing, and the listing you're borrowing should be the meat of the market. One of the listings we went to, it's clearly way too up, I mean, high end, and you're not going to get as much traffic. You're not going to get the meat of the market, period. That was the wrong listing that he borrowed.
Yeah, it's interesting. He was actually from another company. So the listing agent was Remax. He was with Coldwell Banker. I thought that was kind of interesting. And I give him all sorts of credit for borrowing from another company. Good. That's awesome. So he's obviously wanting to do something above and beyond, right? Which
Right,
most people wouldn't even do.
right.
But at the same time, it makes me sad in a little bit because, like, dude, you lose so much opportunity, right?
Yeah,
So much opportunity. Now, the one thing is, this was in a gated community, so you had to go through a gate. We got lucky because we just tagged behind somebody else. So
yeah.
thankfully, otherwise, it's like I
You
got
can't
to
even
punch
get
in the
in.
code.
Yeah.
Hopefully, he gets to the door, right? He lets me in. Then I got to do it again because I missed it the first time. So it was not in an easy to get look, not in an easy to get to location, and it was a little bit overpriced, which I guess doesn't matter that much. But I think if something is too overpriced, people are just going to look at it on Zillow or on Realtor.com and go like, "Is that really worth X?"
Right, right.
So there's a lot of latitude with the house that you hold open if you don't have a listing, but do try to, like we say, and I'll point it out in Open House Mastery. Uh, Good price point, good location, good photographs, hopefully, of that listing. And then, yeah, start holding open houses every single weekend, yours or borrowed. And to that point, let's just get to it. If you need help with getting the listing or getting the open house set in your account, go with our support team. And once you've got the open house in your account and set, you'll see like this open house on July 20th. When you click on the green market listing button, I'm not going to spend a ton of time in each one of these little sections right here. We will go through them. I'm going to introduce you to it. Some of you may be able to get it done while we're here together. Ask questions as we go through this. But
Mm-hmm.
if I click where it says step by step guide, learn more, everything is right here. And this is really nice, even better than a support post, because it's as if I was sitting next to you, just walking you through what you should know, right? How to market the open house, pre-open house. So we go through all of this stuff. So I'm gonna leave this here. Take a look at that overview a little bit later if you need it. And again, I click the green market listing button. It drops me in the overview, and right there is the learn more guide. It's kind of like layman's term. I'm not using support speak. I'm just using more normal we're together hanging out language. So first thing is Facebook and Instagram ad. Stop. Don't if you are in the business building section of your career, which means you are doing less than one deal a week, right? I want you to get to one deal a week, either a buy or sell side. Scaling this part right here, where we're doing Facebook ads, because typically about 20 to 30 to 40% of the people, the buyer leads, have a house,
Yeah.
depending on your market. So you're going to generate great set of leads along the way. And when you do the open house with our marketing plan and listings to leads, we've got some stuff that is going to be geared towards sellers and homeowners. So we're going to get those people into the open house as well. So that's why when I got the email from that guy right before this call, like literally 5 minutes before this call, I'm like, dude, you're too smart for your own good. Keep it simple. And for the ad itself, keep it simple. Don't change location. Don't start thinking, what about out of market people? And what about the, no, don't change location. Leave radius at 15. The more you extend it, the more you spread your budget too thin. So keep it at 15. The only thing I really want you to change here is change 35. I would say $100. If I'm going to spend half a day, I better damn well get some people there, right? Why would I spend $35 on an open house ad when I'm going to be, my time is worth, right? As an agent, your time should be worth $150 minimum per hour, minimum. So the idea of spending 35 or $50 and not 100 or more on your
Yeah.
ad, uh, really, you know, you got to spend money to make money. All right. Again, you're spending your time. I would put $100 on that open house ad. Make sure your images are good to go. We don't want to see 4 images of the front of the house. I don't want to see bad images. So images matter. If you need help with that, get to the mastermind group, get with support. All right. Don't start running ads that look substandard.
Yeah.
It's just a waste of money and it's a waste of time.
Right.
Yeah. And hit create ad. All I did there was I changed the budget. I checked the template, make sure the template was good. A little bit later, in fact, if you go to the open house, or no, a little bit later, I'll give the link for the Facebook ad 10 commandments and the little video about what not to do and what to do. And in just a few seconds, here's what the ad's going to look like. And I think sometimes people think they have to overthink it, and you really don't. Just, again, confirm location. I got people spending $200 a week on multiple ads every single week because they learn how to do it. They learn how to keep it, and they're all default text, default settings. They're not doing anything crazy. All right, so here's that ad. People click it. What's your time frame to buy? And don't forget, remember Gordon said in his thing, one of the people said they were just dreaming and became a listing.
Wow.
Right? Yeah. Name, email, phone number. They go to the single property website. I'm generating leads. You should be generating leads at like 4 to 5 max. $5, depending on where you're at. That would be the high side for me. You got ads right now in the high 2s. Gordon's, his ads, in fact, he's got one at 450. This listing is always on the high side. And his other ad that we got right now is like 289. And it's generated over 50 leads. All right, social media post. This will auto post to all of your socials, and that's fine. It's going to look great. It'll be on Facebook, X, Instagram, LinkedIn, and Google My Business. It's going to link people back to your single property website. And so, look, yeah, it'll look just like that. I can click here, view them. Looks like I got to reconnect my Facebook.
Can I just make a quick comment?
Yeah.
On this particular one, your open text 1, 2, 3, 4, it's a little bit washed because it's probably your brand color. But do pay attention to that.
Oh, that blue right there?
Yeah.
Yeah. If you want to change the coloring, and that is one of the things that we talk about. In fact, in the video that I'll give everybody a little bit later, I'll walk you through this. The idea of changing, so when you're in the Facebook ads, under change template, if I click that, I can change the color. Click the edit icon. And then right here, I can change. Yeah, red is good. Because if you think about the Facebook feed, it's a lot of blue and white. And so adding in some red like that will really get people's attention as they're scrolling down. So even if you're Coldwell Banker or something like that, or Sotheby's, where there's no red anywhere, you can still use red in an ad. It's not going to kill your brand, but just for what that's worth. All right, now for social media, do note when you go to listingsleads.com/open house, we got a whole training on social media posts here. So this is more like a standard thing, but you're also going to see training on how to do image and video posts like this one right here, where we link to, so this is on Instagram, where we're linking to landing pages, to single property websites like this right here, where we can capture more leads, where we can add a poll to the story, right, to a TikTok reel. So there's a lot of great ways to use your open house. In fact, I'll give everybody the link as well. We got a 7-day story campaign. So this could be Instagram stories, Instagram reels, TikTok, where we got 7 posts for 7 days promoting that open house every day. And so here I'm promoting the kitchen, and then I got a link to the guide, 6 things to check before buying a home. Here's a little video clip. In fact, I saw one of our clients did exactly this today. They had a video clip of the front of the house going back and forth.
Oh,
Right. Free ultimate guide to buying a home download. So I can click right from your story, right from your TikTok. So there's that. And then also the short form video scripts. All right. So Yee's been getting better at doing the videos. It's free. She is all over the place with her numbers. She literally, look at this, 1, 2, 3, 7, 4, 7. So your very first one, 229, 154, 131, 173, 123, 499, and then 130. So we got to get better at the open house videos. We're not doing enough internal videos. But so for social media, don't forget, again, listingsleads.com/open house. As you scroll down that page, right under this, I think it is under this section there, you're going to see the part about Instagram and TikTok. So take a look at that. Yeah, and because you need more visibility, right? You need to get more content out there. And if you're going to have an open house, why not promote that open house? That's one of the best things to promote. Any questions? Next up, share on seller social media. So if you're the listing, now if you're borrowing the listing and it's not yours, you will not be able to do this. Real quickly, there is a green send to seller button right here. And there's also an e-flyer, which also has that green button. What you're going to do is just click it for one of them, add in the email and salutation, click send, get that to them, and then click the other one. Then it will autofill their information. So I'll have to add it again and then send that one. It will send the seller this right here that they can copy and paste to their Facebook page. And that way, when their friends and family and colleagues see it, they start clicking, they start commenting, they start liking it. People get listings from this. People get buyers from this. It's an amazing audience. And one of the things I recommend you do is when the seller puts it up on their Facebook page, like and leave a really quick comment. All right, just like the post and then leave a quick comment. Looking forward to the open house on Sunday. And that way, every time somebody else comments, you're going to be notified. And as appropriate, you can like their comment, start making some easy connections right there. People will also click through to the single property website, become a lead there. Oh my gosh, so many great leads from these two tools. And there's an e-flyer here as well. So again, I click on that green send to seller button, just confirm their information, click send, and get that to your seller. Make sure to call them up, make sure they got it, ask if they got any questions. I do the role play in the training on that. So take a look at that at listingsleads.com/open house. Next up right here, and this is a beautiful one. This is the neighbor invitation. You're listing or you're borrowing a listing. And then, man, if you're borrowing a listing, I would make sure to do this because it's your only chance, right? The listing agent can do it at just listed. They can do it at coming soon. They can do it at for sale. Open house is a great one though. But if you're borrowing that listing, that's the only chance you got to invite the neighbors to your open house that you're holding for somebody else, or if it's yours, perfect. You could also edit this to be an invitation to a nearby neighbor preview. So you'll see, let me show that to you again. Under print and mail, which you're not going to do for this letter for open house, but it sits in an editor. And let's say I'm having a catered open house neighbors only preview. Right here where it says, I just want to let you know that we're having, and I can just type in and edit any neighbors only
catered
preview. That's what Dustin Fox did to just blow up his business. He would do catered open houses. He would use the nearby homeowner letter. He would edit it just like that. He would do this like clockwork. He went from being a single agent, well, he and his wife, to like over 24 people on his team. Consistency, all the
Reach
way through
success.
for months. The problem is
Yeah.
most people are consistent 1 to
Only
2 weeks
for,
at a time,
yeah.
right? They're not
Mhm.
consistent for a month or 2, but it takes a month or 2 just to figure out what the heck's going on. Then you can start evaluating, then you can start fine-tuning things, but it literally takes a month or 2 to just get good at being okay. All right? You
Yeah.
gotta get good at being okay first, then you can get really good at it. But yeah, so this right here will get more neighbors to that open house. Now, if it's not your listing, you're not doing catered, all you got to do is download it, JPEG or PDF, probably PDF for this use case. Now, again, if you got time to mail it, perfect. Mail it out. Most of the time for an open house, you're probably going to want a door knock. And I would want a door knock because, man, it is
Face
such a
to
great
face.
reason to be
Mhm.
talking to somebody.
Yeah.
Yeah. So,
It's
yeah.
it's so much easier because you are holding an open house. You give you a reason to talk to somebody face to face. Like, this is so exciting. I have catered food. Really would love to show you, right? It's like a
Yeah.
showcase. So just get that excitement going.
Yeah. In fact, where's my book? Someone just mentioned she dropped my name when I met Dustin last week and got my book autographed. Awesome. Yeah. I
Oh,
got his book somewhere around, might be actually downstairs. I might have been reading it recently. But normally it's right on my desk, along with, in fact, the Jordan Cohen book. I got to get back. My daughter stole it. And yeah, well, actually, I gave it to her. I was like, these are the 2 books you got to read. And
mm,
she still has Jordan Cohen's Agent Edge, which I highly recommend as well. So, but anyways, yes, this letter is how we're going to get more of those homeowners to our open house. And when
mm.
we invite the homeowners to the open house, we're going to want to make sure we do some of the things in open house mastery, which I'll show you. And that's where the video on the TV or laptop can come in handy. The 100-point home marketing plan. That's where having the PDF of the 100-point home marketing plan can come into play, so that these people, we're not going to be able to talk to them every single one of them necessarily. So having other things around that they can thumb through and take a look at would be massive.
Yeah. Can you quickly address Isabel's question? I know you already said it, but
Yeah, Isabel, that's exactly what I'm saying. So even if it's not your listing,
mhm.
then you could use that letter. I would go maybe the evening before. So if it's, let's say, a Saturday open house, I might go Friday afternoon. If it was a Sunday open house, maybe I go Saturday early, mid, or Friday, or something when I can. Right, doing it is better than doing it perfectly. But yes, print up 100, door knock, take a few steps back, and then it's going to be just as easy as, hi, my name is Isabel from XYZ Realty. We're having an open house at 15 Ambient Way on Sunday from 1 to 4, and I just wanted to invite you. It's literally that easy. Now, you're going to know or be able to follow up with probably another quick question after you hand it to them, another comment, try to get the conversation going and see, if they want to talk a little bit, because that's why you're door knocking. All right, you're
Mhm.
door knocking for a couple of reasons. One is to get the letter in their hand or leave it at the door. 2, to invite them to the open house. But 3, have conversations with willing people.
Totally. Yep.
Yeah. So many great opportunities can come from door knocking, and even mailing or leaving it at the door. One of our clients was telling us a while back, she was doing this for an open house, left the letter at the door, and the neighbor actually chased her down 2 houses to ask her whatever, and it ended up getting the listing.
Oh,
So
wow.
yeah,
That's
we have
cool.
we do have postcards and door hangers. These are not so much appropriate for a open house unless you plan far enough ahead of time, but they are there. Print and mail options. You can download, print with whoever. You could print and mail right from listings to leads. There's a circle prospecting script. So for all of you with mail, My Plus leads or RedX or any of these services, if you're going to pull a list to mail to, if you've got a list of, you can pull a list of that area and you don't want to do the nearby homeowner letter or postcard, use the script and call them. Right? Why not just call 200 people and invite them to the open house you're having Sunday? And I think that's one where I would leave a voicemail for sure. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Because I think if I can
Yeah.
get, I might, in fact, if I'm leaving a voicemail, right, get your voicemail, say, yeah, I might just start off with like this. So if I'm leaving a voicemail, I think this would work. I would start with the address so they captures our attention. So I might say 5530 Douglas Boulevard in Folsom is having an open house on Sunday. Because if I start off with, hey, this is click, but if I start off with numbers and an address, I think it might get their attention a little bit because they might be thinking, oh, wow, is something wrong or something happened to that?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Man, this is a constant struggle, I think. The phone
What?
script. Like what messages to leave.
Yeah. I think most
Because I
people,
have tried not to leave a message. I have tried to leave a message as if, oh, hi, this is Yi at, Anson Home Landing, regarding the listing address, right? And I felt like they were probably just not listening to the voicemail. So
yeah.
my goal is just keep calling till I get hold of them, or just let AI take care of it.
Yeah. Yeah. And some days you're going to be so annoyed and you're just going to like rattle off 20 phone calls just to see who you can get a hold of. And maybe you leave a voicemail. And, I think that's just one of those things where you just track and monitor how it works for you.
Yeah.
Uh, so Chelsea says a little bit, well, all right. When hosting an open house, do you find people shy away if you ask them right away if they're working with an agent?
Well,
Well,
that's where the selling form comes in.
yeah, but also I would try to connect with them first in a way that they can see I bring value. I'm not like the normal people. So, for example, when you look at our open house mastery training, we talk about having a little bit of a catered setup, whether it's just chips and mixed nuts with water, or you go a little bit fancier like Dustin does, where he brings food
Okay.
trucks and sushi platters. You're not going to start out that way, but as you build up and you get better and you start making a lot more money, you can afford to have a lot better stuff at your open house. Right? You got to
Yeah.
start where you can. And if you do all of these things that we're teaching you, you won't even have to ask that question. You
Yeah,
really,
can I make a quick point? I don't know how many people actually know you have updated the signing form in listing leads. It used to say, "Are you working with a realtor?" And we have since updated about a month ago. Now it's saying your realtor's name. And can you explain to the agents why you updated that?
yeah. So on the open house form, you're right. In fact, so if they sign into the online one, you'll get the email with all of their replies. So you'll be able to see it pretty quickly. If they do the paper one, then what I would do is after they fill it out, I would pick it up and I would put it somewhere where not everybody else can come and see their private information. Right? We alluded to that at the beginning of this call. So you're going to see right here, it says realtor's name. So we don't ask if they have an agent. We put realtor's name. And that way, if they don't have one or
They won't
they're
say
new in
anything.
the process, or they're not even going to have a name to put down.
Right.
Right. Or they might put Smith. Maybe there's a Smith. If there is, I'll apologize. But yeah, I wouldn't even ask that question until a little bit later after I have a
Yeah.
conversation with them.
Right. It will naturally come out. You will know. Most of them, if they don't write anything in that field, they don't have agent.
Right.
And they
Yeah.
will tell you right away,
Yeah. We
actually.
don't ask in the print version, we don't ask uh we don't ask, do you have an agent? Because then everybody would just put yes. So that's why we ask it the way we do. Like, what is your realtor's name?
Mhm,
They're gonna leave it blank.
mhm.
All right. I don't have a ton of time on this. I do want to get to some other things. The database invite is so key. Please make sure email this to your database. All right. So we got the e-flyer. You can email it through listings to leads by clicking the green send now button. I can send it to either all of my leads, all of my buyer leads, or even just all the leads for this particular property right here. So there's a couple of ways I can do this and click send. And I can also, there's a copy code button right there. We got 3 different options. if you're using Follow Up Boss, just click copy to FUB and just navigate to where you send out an email. But instead of typing out an email, you
Mm.
just paste in all that stuff from listings to leads. And now I got a beautiful invite. And I might also, if you got texting, I might send out a text, and I also might, again, just make some phone calls. And again, I know we talk about the big debate on leaving voicemails or not. I would leave a similar voicemail to what I was going to do on circle prospecting, right? Call them up, 5530 Douglas Boulevard, Granite Base, having an open house this weekend. Just want to make sure you're invited. Because to me, I know they're going to listen to my voice sometimes. Does that make sense? And if I get them on
Mhm.
the phone, it is such a easy thing. And I might call them my older leads, like your older seller leads. Even say something to the effect of, "Listen, I know you're not in the market to sell or buy right now, but with the way the market is, I thought you might like to see what how it looks and what 1.2 million would get you right now, right?"
Mhm.
Phrase it as a way to connect with them, to add value to them. Because again, you're going to have different items at that open house that most agents don't. And you're going to be able to get more conversations going because of that. And that's the whole goal of this.
Yeah.
The open the open house is an event. So we want to make sure we pre-market it like an event. We send out invites like it's an event, and then we also conduct it like it's an event. Otherwise, you're just wasting your time. Like all three of those people this weekend, all three of them, all of them could have done way better.
Better job. Yeah.
Right. And like I'll tell you that at the one open house, that one couple came through. Oh my God. She was the mom was a pistol because she was like, "Well, I'm not signing your sign-in sheet if you make me give you my phone number or my email address." And they were a neighbor, and she was asking her some questions. And I was thinking, man, if they would have had that video up, or if they would have had the 100-point home marketing plan, that
That would
woman,
be such an easy transition. Oh, totally.
because she was the type of person I think that would have picked that up and started looking at it, and then maybe even ask you questions like, "Well, what is this?"
Yeah,
And then,
yeah. And
damn.
she would just write her information down. So, ooh, that's pretty cool.
Well, and that's what you want to get to the point where, yeah, where they actually want to give you the right information
Mhm.
because of the way you conduct yourself, the way you conduct the open house. So
Yeah.
short form video script, make sure you record a video. All right. You saw these videos right here. Don't overcomplicate it. You can stand in front of the house, do the script. All right. This is just an iPhone on a tripod, a little lavalier mic, right, connected to the phone. Super easy. All right. Again, don't overthink it. That's what most people do. They try to get just make it too complicated. All right. Single property website, virtual tour. I'm going to come back to the open house sign in form in 1 minute, but let me just mention, make sure, all right, get these up on your yard sign. This is part of the event. And I want that up there now. So for all of you that have an open house this coming weekend, if you don't have this, stop by your association, or if it's your MLS, but stop by, pick up one of those, get it on the top. Make sure you got one of these. If not, order it right now. Even if it's not going to come in time for this weekend, order one of these, because your open house sign should look something like this right here. All right. And this is at listingstoleads.com/open house. But your yard sign should look something like this. In fact, I even like that red on white even better. Stands out a lot
Mhm.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah.
None of them
People,
have that, huh? Open house signs.
pardon me?
The three open houses, none of them have that signs.
Nope. None of them had a sign writer. None
Nope.
of them had open house. None of them had, one of them had an A-frame that was specially put up by the curb. The other two, nothing.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, and it's like when you walk, even when you're in the profession and you walk into an open house where if you didn't know they were having an open house, you would think you don't want to bother them because there's nothing showing there's an open
There's
house,
nothing inviting about it.
nothing inviting. So
Yeah.
you walk in the open house and immediately you've got this cautious attitude. Well, because you're like, well, I wonder where the hell the agent is. I wonder if anybody else is here. I wonder, uh, is this? Are we sure this is the right? Okay, yeah, there's a for sale sign on the street, but there's nothing else really showing us aside from the fact that the door was unlocked. That in fact they are having an open house, and even when you start walking into the open house, there's nothing. There's nothing that's putting me in the frame of mind or in the mood to be at an open house, to be a little bit happy and open and glad that I'm there. But when you do it the way we're going to be talking about, you will achieve that effect.
Here's another interesting observation.
Yeah.
One agent was busy talking to like maybe three people, a group of three people when we
Right.
walked in, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he could have said, "Oh, welcome in. I'll be with you shortly." Right? He just completely ignored me.
Yeah.
And I
I
thought
think there's a way, and I think
there
I used
has
to
to
be
be a
pretty good
way.
at it, where I'm talking to someone and, you don't want to be like you're chasing down every little thing, right?
Right.
But I do think at the same time, if you've got smart people and you got good people, they would understand that, hey, listen, as the agent or broker at the open house here, we're having a conversation, but somebody did just walk in. And I always thought I was pretty good with the ability to just be like, hey, there's some stuff over here, please go take a look, whatever it is, right? The sign in form, and I'll be with you in a few seconds, and then get right back to who you're talking to, because they're going to understand. Now, if I were to wander off, then that's awful. But you're right. He should have at least given us a 3 to 5 second hello thing.
Yeah,
Go over
something I just
whatever.
completely wandered off.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
he was still talking to these people. No, just an
Yeah.
observation. I don't know if there's a good,
Yeah.
the right way or the wrong way of doing certain things, but just be aware of these situations.
Well, like I said, I think even the worst thing was, if I remember that one correctly, because I said two of them, you wouldn't have even known they're having an open house,
Right.
really at all, by the front and everything and all the energy when you first walk into the door. And yeah, I think they were around the corner. And yeah, and again, it's just one of those things where it's like, oh my God, I don't want to bother them. Maybe I'm interrupting a conversation. You know what I mean? So yeah, just
I was
whatever.
literally tiptoeing, tried like just be very quiet.
Yeah, exactly. All right. So yeah, sign writer. So status on the top, get that writer. These things cost like $30. Once you've
Mm,
got it, the extension stays in your account. So I can take the sign writer and move it from open house to open, or just from listing to listing. Because I want that on there from coming soon, active, just listed, open house, pending. And then if you can do just sold, great. If not, yeah, we get it. And last thing here is just listing flyers. So make sure to take your L to L listing flyers with you. There's QR codes, text codes, custom vanity URL, and seller lead capture. So it's great for neighbors. It's great for buyers. Great for sellers. Looks fabulous. All right. So if you just go through this list, you will get probably more open house leads and people to your open house than you've ever had before. Everything's going to be obviously depending on the market to some degree or another, but just doing this alone will give you a great open house typically. Uh, where does the QR code take you? To the single property website. And it's cool because when I move that sign around, the new listing will pick up that QR code. So, but to be honest with you, and I hate that term, to be honest with you, I don't like the sign writer with the QR code. I would use this one, the second one. And that is because when they scan the QR code, I
mm-hmm.
don't know immediately who they are unless they opt into a lead form. But if they send a text, I got their phone number right away. So I like that a lot better.
Mm.
Yeah, does that make sense, Isabel? So if it was me, I like the second one. And the second one passes the 25-mile-an-hour drive-by test, which is if I'm driving by your house and I slow down a little bit to 25. Can I read what's on that sign writer? 8 out of 10 times you can't, because they got they're doing like one of these with too much text on it. I know what this is. You don't need all so much information. Sometimes people overload these things, and you can barely make out what you're supposed to text. So yeah, I would use that number 2 because the font is really big on those numbers. And again, it's on a yard sign. I know it's a text. So, all right. With that, if you have any questions on marketing that open house, get to the mastermind group. All right. Ask in there. Let us help you. Again, don't overthink it. The only thing on the ad, your listing or a listing that you're going to borrow, make sure the listing is in listings to leads, of course, and consider out to be, I 50 to $100. All right. 50 minimum for an open house. And I would even go up to $100.
Yeah.
Neil, where do we get them from? Great question. 2 different options. Well, more. One is you can download the file. So if I click download, I can download the file into my computer. And then right here, we recommend using dirt cheap signs. It's not so much that we recommend them. It's just we got a link and it's easier for you. And it's going to put me on yard signs. And then I come over here to upload file. And you'd want to get with them for more information, but it's super easy. Let's see here. Sign writer, open. All right, looks fabulous. Click next. I don't need just full color. All right, boom. Save and check out. Yes, I approve. You got different options. It's going to go I think it's like 15 to $30 depending on which options you take. But it's literally that easy. In fact, I'm gonna leave that there because I want to order one of these myself. I've got everything else I need, but I don't have any yard signs. So I need to get one of those as well. All right, Neil, is that good? Oh, and the other option you have, I believe most of you do, is you could, on that download file, you might ask your sign writer company if you can send them a file to create a sign writer for you. I think a lot of times they do. So that might be something you check. And that way it might be a little quicker, depending.
Mm-hmm.
Now we want to go, and not only do we want to have the best attended open house in the area, we want those homeowners and those neighbors coming through and just going like, damn, this is an open house.
We talked about it, the seller showcase, remember?
Seller showcase, exactly.
Yeah.
So click on marketing calendar presentations, open house mastery right here. We've got a checklist to the right. These all relate. They're all the same thing in different formats. So we get the checklist, the guide, and the presentation. I'm going to click on presentation. You can look at the checklist later. You can look at the guide. The guide is this. It's like a 29-page PDF. It's pretty thick. The presentation might be easier. The cool thing about the PDF or the guide is it's got a lot of links to the things we mentioned here. So if you see something mentioned in the presentation, like the flags, like acrylic holders, you can get all that. The links to all of that are in the PDF. So I'm not even going to talk about a lot of this because we've already talked about most of this.
Can you make sure you have that link where there's a calendar, like what they're supposed to do every day, plus all the
yeah, definitely
short form videos?
Yeah, let me go through this real briefly.
Yeah. So don't forget before we leave.
Yeah, no, thank you for bringing that up. In fact, last week I started with that, which people seem to like. But yeah, we got a 5-day calendar. Not only do we have a 5-day like short calendar, but we also got a 5-day action plan calendar. What should you do on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, depending on when you're having the open house.
Mm-hmm.
But come through here later you can take a look at all of the. This is all phenomenal, but we've covered a lot of it. Here we're talking about making sure to pick the right open house. It does matter. All right. And again, I want to get to a few, there's a part here I want to get to that I didn't really talk about yet. Most of this, again, we talked about including the marketing plan that we're going to see here. Yeah. In fact, I got to edit this. So, neighborhood exclusive. This, if you are the listing agent, I would highly recommend that you do. Use the nearby homeowner letter to invite the neighbors to that special neighbor only preview. If it's catered, even better. Phenomenal way to meet more of those homeowners in a setting that's a little bit nicer than just the public open house where a lot of people could be running through. All
Right.
right. So take a look at this for that. And promote it on Nextdoor. That's something a lot of people forget. You can't do it, but get the seller to put the single property website. The same thing they post to their Facebook page. When you call them up, all right, when you call the seller up about posting that to their Facebook page, just ask them at the same time, hey, go ahead and put that on Nextdoor. We want everyone to know about the open house because the neighbors may know people that want to move into the area, same as the reason why they put it on Facebook to begin with. So yeah, get that on Nextdoor. All right, a little bit about the database, but I want to get to the next part. So handouts. So this is why later you should come back to this presentation. And this also in the guide. Handouts. All right, you're going to have a clipboard. You got the listing flyer. Do a Chat GPT neighborhood summary. You can make that as simple or as nice as you want. But in fact, in the guide, there's actually a prompt for that. Open house sign in for a lot of top agents love the printed version, right? You put it on a clipboard. I think at your last open house, you had 3 or 4 clipboards?
Yeah.
Right. And so that way, 2 or 3 people come through like at the open houses that we were at. Right. In fact, that guy, we were laughing so hard. Not so hard, but I said, how's the open house today? And he goes, the standard, a couple people came through and nobody came through for the last hour. And all of a sudden you guys and these 2 other groups all came through at the same time. And I was like, yeah, dude, that's how it always works. So if you're trying to use multiple groups and you're busy with somebody, and now I've got the iPad just sitting there on the counter, I personally would use the print version. And then I would just add them to the online version after the open house. All right. A pen, right? You had your pens. They look great. Have a printout of other open houses or listings in the area, or maybe, even a QR code to it. But I think I might actually have a printed version. And when you go through the rest of this, you're going to see how we want to give the people coming through the open house the listing flyer, the neighborhood summary, the open house feedback form, ask them to complete the feedback form, to sign in for security purposes, and to hand that back on the way out. Thank you very much. Right. Again, they're going to have these other items. They will have a pen that you provide them. And then there's more scripts in this presentation. It's called in the outro section, the outro of the open house. And we talk about the conditions in which to give that out to people. All right. Because, yeah. So, yeah, flags, multiple open house signs, flags. If you don't do flags, you can do balloons. I think flags are easier, but balloons look fabulous, especially nice branded balloons. Going to be a little more involved, obviously. Have some music, bring a little portable speaker, put some music on, makes a big difference, right? Choose your music wisely, have something appropriate. Smell, all right? Sometimes people bring in the plug-in for breezes, or just make sure you open a window, open the door for a little bit, get that house smelling fresh. In fact, someone said something interesting on this the other day about the smells. Do you remember that, Yi, or no?
No.
Yeah. God, I can't remember that. It was kind of an interesting comment. Chelsea, I was told maybe doing a creative open house in the area, reaching out to other agents. Chelsea, you could, but I would focus on you getting really good with this first. Because that way, when you do this parade with other agents, your open house is going to be the one that stands out.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Don't be duplicitous with what you're doing, but I would just don't wait for somebody else to help grow your business. You should just nail this. All right.
Right.
Yep. Oh, you know what? Somebody might have said baked cookies or whatever it was on the smell that I thought was kind of interesting. Food and drinks, super simple, super easy. Mixed nuts from Walmart, from Costco. You can get a 2 pound for like $20. Uh, Super easy. Bottled water. Everybody loves bottled water. Everybody likes mixed nuts. You also bought those little bags of potato chips.
Yeah. That's
Do
not bad.
people take those?
Yeah.
Oh, they do. Okay. All right. Yeah, because
Like,
they're almost like the
they're
little
just
mini
tiny
ones.
little bags, so it's not
Yeah.
too junky.
Well, and I think as somebody coming through an open house, I don't like serving junk food at an open house, but those bags are small enough to where even I think somebody that's kind of watching their weight or whatever eats well, uh, is small enough to where they don't feel too guilty if they pick it up. But then the mixed nuts, I think, are the best. I think the
Hmm.
mixed nuts, and then again, with the drinks in the beginning, just do bottled water. When you get, if you want to do logo water, you could do your logo on it. Then, work your way up to the neighbor's catered preview where maybe have a little bit of white wine or
Yeah,
ginger
that's
beer.
different. Neighbor is a little bit different. You can make a little bit
Yeah.
more higher end. But for just regular,
Yeah.
I think
100%.
smaller bottle water is perfect because nobody wants to bring, well, one, big bottle water, not going to consume it at one take. So a smaller one is just perfect size.
Yeah. You brought this kind of almost like the half size,
Yeah, and if you
which, yeah,
could,
it's perfect.
if I were to spend some money investing in this, I will have my logo water. That would be very cool.
Yeah. You
But
should look into that.
yeah, for
Because
sure.
water is good because you can hold on to water for a while, a couple of months. Yeah. Just keep it somewhere in the house where, uh, it's not going to get too hot. Like I wouldn't want to leave it in the garage necessarily. All right. Take a look at this later. I don't want to go because we can spend an hour just on the presentation. But here's the thing: master doing the open houses,
Hmm.
master doing the Facebook ads. It is so easy to do. If you can stay consistent with it. In fact, you said give them the link for, yes, I got two
Oh,
more
I have
links for
it.
everybody.
Yeah.
The first link is the daily open house marketing and mastery calendar. So I'm going to give this to everybody. So this is every day of the week. What can I do to make sure I'm marketing that open house?
Hmm.
And part of this is the Instagram and TikTok campaign Monday through Sunday. So it's almost like two daily lists. One is marketing in general, and then one is short form video in particular. And the other link I want to give you is right below it. Struggling with Facebook ads. I don't want to get an email from somebody a week from now, 2 weeks from now, a month from now, asking me about bizarre ad types while all this time you are not running the kind of ads that I'm talking about running on this page right here, like we talked about throughout this call today, that will grow your business, that will build your pipeline. All right.
Right.
Again, most of you, the biggest problem is it's not the kind of ads you're running. You're not running the right ads with the right consistency, with the right budget. You need to do
Yeah.
all three things at the same time for about 8 to 10 weeks.
We have millions and millions going through our platform. We have stats and stats proven that these ads will be the most cost-effective way of generate buyer leads. So why reinventing the wheel, thinking something else going to be performing better? That's why these agents come back, all crying like this thing's not working. Well, because I did not tell you to run these customized crazy funky ads. Just come to the basic, the ones that actually work.
Yeah. So yeah, save all the cool things for later.
Yeah,
In the beginning, when you are trying to scale your business, and you might be at 5 listings a month and you want to get to 10. You might be at one a month or zero a month, trying to get to two or
cool.
three or
Yeah.
whatever. This is a great, easy way to scale your business no
Mm-hmm.
matter what,
Without
no matter
breaking the
where you're
bank.
at right now.
Yeah.
All right. Neil says, what is the right budget? I thought we discussed that. I would, for open house, Neil, I would do 50 minimum, if not 100. And then I would use the $100 ad budget that I did, and that would help motivate me to make sure I do all the other marketing. I do all the, because all the vertical stuff, all the shorts are free, so that's absolutely free and a great way to get visibility. I would use that $100 ad budget for the ad to motivate me to make sure I do very well with the mastery part, and make sure I do the free things like get that video on the TV or laptop, get the 100-point home marketing plan printed. And even if it's an easy bind from Office Depot, right, whatever, a couple of bucks, I have that available so that I'm going to take advantage of and leverage and door knock 200 homes. Maybe you should door knock 200 homes and invite all of those people to your open house. Now,
Yeah.
door knocking does take a while, and you hope it's not too hot when you're doing it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you address Denise? Run the Facebook ads for 1 week. Well, for
Well,
open house. Yeah, before
yeah,
the
either for 1 week or to the end of the open house. Let me show you what I mean by that.
mm-hmm.
So if I've got an open house, today's Monday. If I were to run an ad for a week, that would be next Monday. My open house is, let's say, Saturday. So
It
I
ends
click
this
market
Saturday.
listing, Facebook and Instagram ad, and I do two things. For an open house, I do two things. One is I leave everything alone. I don't touch anything except, when you have an ad live, it'll take you to this page because it wants you to know, hey, you got to add live. So I'll turn that off. All right. So when you land here, confirm location,
Don't touch
change.
anything
Yeah, don't
except
touch
for
anything. Change 35 to 100. And then right here, end date. Now it will turn off automatically at the end of the open house. It'll turn off. So but I want to make sure I spend the entire budget. So I go to 28 and I might do the time like $4 or I'm sorry, 4
yeah,
p.m. or
yeah.
3:11, like whatever, somewhere during the open house, and then create ad. And that's literally that will get sent to Facebook for review, hopefully be live in 10 to 15 minutes. All right. Any other questions? Anything? All right. Doing this correctly, doing your Facebook ads the way I talk about at the link I just gave you. If you can just do these two things consistently for a couple of months, you're going to get more listings, more buyers. Your pipeline will be stronger than ever. You're going to be having more conversations than you've ever had before. But you
And
got to stop.
you'll be much happier.
Yes. All right. Neil, do me a favor, Neil, and give me an update at some point this week on where you're at with things. I know you're on a lot of these calls. What I'd like to be able to hear from you, Neil, is the fact that you're doing the ads, you're being consistent with them, right? You follow the videos where we talk about, look at your ad cost. I log in every day. I look at the cost per lead on the ads, and anything above $5, I just turn them right off. I don't even think twice. I turn them off. I rerun them. 8 times out of 10, I get a better audience. If I'm below $3 or the low threes and the ad's going to end soon, I just throw more money into the ad. In fact, Chrissy did it today in the mastermind group. She came in there. She's like, hey, how do she said, I got a great ad. Should I throw more money on it or let it end and just do a new one? And I said, no. I said, just,
We extend it and double the money.
yeah, come in here. Just like, even if it's here, if I turn that on, I can, whether from the ads page or right here, click that edit icon and just add more budget. Now, if
called
it's at
PPC.
$7 a lead, right? And just
It's
go
called
150 and then extend that out, another couple of days, another week, whatever it is. Hit update, ride that pony. Right. And betting, right. Keep your money on the horse.
I think we need to one thing is called D&E, double and extend.
Yeah, yeah.
The other thing I think we need to have alerts when people try to change the radius. We need to have an alert. We will not be responsible for the poor performance.
Oh, yeah, right. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And then it should like squirt you in the face with a squirt gun if you
Oh, cool.
try to do that. So
Neil
yeah.
is responding to the AI already pre-called a few leads already. Oh, that's nice.
Oh, awesome. Good
Yeah.
job, Neil.
The AI is really good. Really good.
Yeah. So Neil, how you doing the AI? Like with Yi, she lets the AI run, does follow up, and then I believe you said as soon as you connect with them on the follow up, you turn off the AI text conversation.
Yeah. After I have personally engaged with them, yes.
Right. Okay. So text,
Um,
phone.
yeah, but otherwise I leave it on. For example, this one person, she I got her lead it was like 3 weeks ago. The first time we were running the ads were not too successful when didn't know
Mhm.
what we were doing.
Yeah.
She responded today after, I don't know, 3 weeks. So I think that AI is really good at just following up. So
Well, Gordon, and this is what's so beautiful about this strategy.
yeah,
When you put enough money into the budget and you got enough leads coming in. In fact, let me show you here.
I feel like there are people
So
who,
here,
yeah,
well,
go ahead.
hold on, check this out. So I took all of Gordon's ads that we've been running as part of this campaign. So
Mm-hmm.
in total, 353 leads. I'm reading up here in the kind of right there, if y'all can see it, kind of in the top left. So I just put some notes here. So 353 leads in the last like 2 months,
Mm-hmm.
like 10 weeks. Total spent $1,200. So, which is just about 500 a month, exactly what we
Mm-hmm.
say. Lead average $3.47.
That's really
And so
good.
here's the deal. That's 6 leads a day. When you're able to generate 6 leads a day, where 75 to 80 to 85% of the phone numbers are cell phone numbers and good phone numbers,
Yeah.
you are going to be on the good side of it's a numbers game. Right.
Oh
That
yeah.
is when you do this and you do this for, I'll tell you, you do this for a couple of weeks, you're going to be not, you're going to barely remember what it was like to not be this busy in a good way. You're going to be like, holy shit. You're like, that's all it took. Just a couple of weeks of not reinventing shit, of not, making stuff up. It just took 2 or 3 weeks of just like keeping my head down and doing what Scott said. And then in about like 6 to 8 to 10 weeks, you are
You can see
literally going to
progress.
see closings. You're going to see more buyers. You're going to see listings.
Yeah.
And it starts out right here. And it starts out with having, like Neil said, having the AI text set up, hours, or if you got it through your CRM, great. And, is there anybody on this call? So, Yi, for your follow up, you'll call once a day for what? Like, do you do what Gordon does once a day for 7 days or something
Yeah,
else?
that's what I'm doing right now.
All right. Versus,
I,
we talked about
once
this.
actually no, I call once and I wait 2 days and I call again.
Okay.
Craig is like calls every 3 days. So
All right.
I call every 2 days.
And Gordon calls every day for a week. There are
Yeah.
people that would have you call 3 times a day, text 3 times a day, 3 emails a day for 30 days.
Yeah.
I don't know
I
how
think
you'd ever get anything done.
yeah, because follow up is I hate to use that word, the B word, but it's a lot of work. Yeah, it drains you. But
It
if you
does.
don't
But you
do
know
it,
what, to be honest with you, I think it drains you more thinking about it than actually doing it because I hear
well,
you
I
on the
just at seven
phone.
o'clock, I'm thinking, all right, well, I gotta make my call, and that's it. If I
Yeah.
get hold of them, great. If I don't, they tell you to F off. So
Yeah. But
then
at
I
least
can
once
delete
a
that.
day, I feel like I hear you having a great conversation. And it's so funny when you will come downstairs and she'll be, oh my God, I just had this conversation, da 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 da, whatever it was. And even when it's not going to lead to a deal necessarily, like it's just
It
someone
was
who's
a good
having,
conversation. It was interesting because
yeah,
people were telling you their life stories. when when they try to
yeah,
when you open up, it's nuts.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So, all right. Well, listen.
Okay,
I think we're
we're good.
good. If you have any questions, let us know. Have a great rest of your Monday. Get started on that open house and get into the mastermind group. Let us help you out. Again, you don't need to reinvent the wheel. It's simple, it's scalable. You just need to have the confidence to keep doing it consistently. So
Yeah.
get into the mastermind group. Let us help you out. We'll talk to you soon.
All right. Thank you guys. Have a good night.